All right, so there's been a second assassination attempt on the life of former President Donald Trump. And guys, first off, let me just debunk this notion that Trump is somehow some type of dictator, that Trump is somehow a threat to democracy. I've mentioned this time and time again. Let me talk to you about what dictators do not do. Dictators do not deregulate. All right, Trump deregulated the system when he was in office. For every what was it? For every one regulation he cut two. Would a dictator do that? Would a dictator weaken the government system? Would a dictator support 2A rights? Now, don't get me wrong. I have my frustrations with the bump stock ban when it came to Trump, but otherwise, this guy was going to NRA meetings. He was supporting 2A rights. Would a dictator do that? Would a dictator allow the American people to be armed? Of course not. Would a dictator cut taxes? No, a dictator would not want to put money back in the hands of the American people. A dictator simply wouldn't do that. Would a dictator leave office? Oh, Carl, there was January 6th. Oh, my God. He said, go and peacefully and patriotically protest. And you had a couple hundred people that got out of hand. Otherwise, you have the DOJ that is going after grandmothers, nannies, former law enforcement officers that did nothing more than walk into a state freaking Capitol building. Give me a break with that nonsense. And you have no moral authority to mention J6 if you're not going to talk about the George Floyd riots of 2020 and the Antifa attacks on cops in places like Portland and Seattle. So don't give me this crap on J6. Furthermore, did Trump ever weaponize the DOJ against his political opponents? Regardless of how you feel about the man, don't sit here and tell me that he's a threat to democracy when everything the left has done, everything the left has said about this man in context of being a threat to democracy is literally projection. It's what they've done. Did you see Donald Trump use the big tech industry to censor his opponents? For God's sakes, man, people wake up, wake up. There is no freaking way that there should be a second assassination attempt on Trump, and this easy. By the way, the Biden-Harris administration owed Trump an apology. Biden owes Trump an apology. Kamala Harris owes Trump an apology. Don't give me these little statements on X, these little notes on X. Give me a freaking break. Kamala Harris, your entire campaign isn't built upon substance. It's built upon people hating Donald Trump because you have nothing to offer. We watched that disastrous interview in Pennsylvania, your second interview with the local host, and it was a disaster. You still couldn't answer basic questions. Why anyone would trust you in office, I have no idea why. But all you do is spur hate. That's all you and Biden have done your entire presidency, is stir up hatred against other American people and then sit here and pretend like you're the virtuous one when you've got nothing to run on. You're not flip-flopping, you're lying. How is it? And I'm going to give you the skinny, for those of you that may not be informed, I'll give you some information. We have a few videos that I want to show you as well. How is it? And it's a simple question. How is it that this would-be assassin, this second assassination attempt, how is it that he knew where Trump was going to go, where Trump was going to be when it wasn't publicized? Tell me, how does something like that occur? Everybody within Trump's circle, every security, Secret Service, all these people, everybody around in his security apparatus needs to be sat down and questioned. This makes no sense whatsoever. Why the hell, after you've already had a July 13th occur, the first assassination attempt against Donald Trump's life, you tell me why wasn't his security detail buffered to a point where it should be? He should have the type of security detail, frankly, that Joe Biden has. Joe Biden isn't doing anything. He's not doing anything but taking vacations. So why not bump up the security detail for Trump? Kamala Harris, too, to be fair. But Trump more so. No one's attempted to to assassinate Kamala Harris, and God forbid no one will. No one's attempted to assassinate Joe Biden, and God forbid no one will. But they have attempted to assassinate Trump twice. I mean, this is absolutely insane. And by the way, no one can make you act out violently. You had Lester Holt and you had some of these people on these media sources, MSNBC, CNN, ABC. Oh, by the way, Lindsay Davis came out and admitted, I believe, to the Los Angeles Times that she and David Muir of ABC, the moderators in the last debate, did in fact work to make sure that they would fact check Donald Trump, but that they wouldn't fact check Kamala Harris. They didn't want to do what CNN did. I mean, allow a debate between two candidates so the American people could decide. They wanted to be the fact checkers, and their fact checks were wrong. Their fact checks were freaking wrong. They allow Kamala Harris to sit and lie about that Charlottesville hoax yet again. That has been debunked by Snopes. You can go back and hear the videotape. Kamala Harris lied about late-term abortion, saying that states, no, that doesn't exist. States don't do it. 9 states plus D.C. does it. And they didn't fact check her at all. But this is what the media has come down to. It's always blame Trump. And I'm not saying that Trump doesn't say some stupid things, all right, because sometimes, frankly, he does. But at least he's a president or former president that is of, for, and by the people, that still believes in the Constitution, and nobody can incite you to violence. He's the victim of violence. And this stuff just makes me upset. All right, let's play a couple video clips. I sent a few to Gabe before we got started here, and then I'll just give you a brief breakdown of the events that occurred yesterday. I just wanted to make sure that I was on record. By the way, make sure you check me out tonight. I will be on the Larry Elder Show, sitting in for him. Before we get to the video, I do want to remind you that today's show is brought to you in part by MyPillow.com. You've asked at MyPillow, listen, they're finally bringing you the most requested offer ever right now. You can get the queen size premium MyPillow for just $19.98. MyPillow is made with a patented adjustable feel. It adjusts to your exact individual needs, regardless of your sleep pattern. It helps to keep your neck aligned, and it holds its shape all night long, so you get the best sleep of your life. Plus, it stays cool. I like that because I can get sweaty. But that's not all. You can get their 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets for just $25. The brand new mattress topper for as low as $69.98, and the famous MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $25, and so much more. All you have to do is go to MyPillow.com or give them a call at 800-858-0263. Again, that number, 800-858-0263. Use the promo code Carl, C-A-R-L. I don't spell it like the commie. Get huge discounts on all MyPillow products, including the premium queen size MyPillow. Again, for just $19.98. That's the lowest price ever. Do not delay. Order today. Use promo code Carl at checkout. Okay. So let's get to some video. This is what he has to say in regards to the assassination attempt on the former president's life, the second assassination attempt. This is how responsible Lester Holt is and his news organization. Let's go ahead and roll it, por favor, Gabe.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
Lester, simply put, Springfield, Ohio has been inundated by threats over the last several days, closing government buildings, schools, hospitals. Today, effectively closing a local university campus after administrators said someone threatened a mass shooting targeting Haitians. This in light of, officials say, a false online conspiracy theory alleging Haitian immigrants in that city are eating people's pets.
This is the mainstream media at work, and this is what they always do. So there were threats, and then there was an actual assassination attempt with a perpetrator that was being captured. And by the way, it's amazing to me that NBC News wants to report what Donald Trump did. All right, so he went a little. The pet thing is a little bit, wacky, I guess. Apparently, there's no evidence. However, there are, from what I understand, there's some 911 calls. I haven't delved in deep. I'm not going to go there. Here's the point. The bottom line is you drop 20,000, estimated 20,000 illegal Haitians. And by the way, they are illegal. I know what Kamala Harris did, and Joe Biden technically makes them illegal. They gave them asylum. They gave them temporary status for the time being, but they were brought into the country illegally. They didn't go through the regular citizenship pass. They drop them in Springfield, Ohio. They drop them in rural America, a city that is not a wealthy city by any stretch of the imagination, a city that has a population of approximately 59,000 people, from what I've read. And you drop about 20,000 illegal Haitians in there, people that have not assimilated into the country, people that are going to bring their custom and their culture into a culture that already exists. You're going to overwhelm the schools. You're going to overwhelm the hospitals. Insurance rates are going to go up, obviously, for people that are driving, because I just learned, I didn't know this, only about 5% of Haitians in Haiti even drive cars. This isn't a knock on Haitians. This is a knock on what the Biden and Harris administration are doing all across the country. It just happens to be in Springfield, Ohio, and these illegal immigrants happen to be Haitian. I'm not mad at them for any customs that they bring because they were not told to assimilate. Freaking make it's insane. So NBC News won't report on the border. They won't hold Kamala Harris responsible for being the damn border czar, but they want to report on this freaking thing. Trump almost gets shot. Oh, and it's blame the victim. These people are sick. They are freaking sick. God have mercy, man. God have mercy. All right, next one. Let's go up. This is listen, I got to give Steve Deace credit. I did not know this. I saw this for the first time on his X account. He's with the Blaze, but apparently, what are the odds? What are the odds that the first, the first guy that attempted to assassinate Trump is in the same BlackRock video as the second guy that attempted to assassinate Donald Trump? Gabe, we have that one. Let's go ahead and roll it. Just going to the next one up, if you would.
Of the action is to appeal to what leaders?
There he is.
What organization?
And apparently there's longer video where the first Thomas Crooks is in that video as well. What are the odds? What are the freaking odds? It's absolutely insane. Here's another video real quick. This is MSNBC's Alex Witt arguing that it's the Trump campaign that needs to turn down the rhetoric, right? Because Donald Trump is going to get himself killed. Why? Because there's crazy Democrats out there. And again, I'll give you some information on this guy quickly. Let's roll the next one, Gabe. This is Alex Witt on MSNBC. Let's watch.
Yeah. Do you expect there to be calls from within the Trump campaign to do that? Because he's going to reach out to his supporters and say, let's take this down. We do not know, again, the source of any gunshot or gunshots. We don't know who's responsible for this. The whole thing has yet to be 100% confirmed from start to finish how this all played out. But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence, or would that be atypical of the former president?
Well, Alex, remember back to the assassination attempt on President Trump's life and how, there was talk of a new tone, and then the Republican convention was, by Trumpian standards, muted. And it did seem like he was, just trying to take it down a few notches. But then by the end of his convention speech, we were kind of back to where we started. So I don't know how long this could, this moment of unity for the country where we come together and we say, I don't want any political opposition to be under threat of violence. It's not okay. Any threat of violence, we don't want.
All right, cut this moron off. Cut this moron off. This is. I'm sorry. I don't even want to hear it anymore, Gabe. This is so sickening. This is so sickening. This guy, listen, we know that Trump is going to be Trump. We know that Trump can say some crazy things, but we know that he was also, we know that he was a good president. I don't like everything he says, but I enjoy his policies. And here's what, listen, you can vote for the man's policies. You can not like the man. All right. The same is true for Kamala Harris. If you want to vote for socialism, you can vote for socialism whether you like Kamala Harris or whether you don't. But it's insane to me that these people will continue this drumbeat. Oh, okay, all right. So since Trump said things that I don't like, I guess he should be shot. I mean, it almost sounds like she's justifying. Well, what do you expect? We got crazy Democrats. They're gonna pop a cap in them. Is that what she's saying? I mean, these people are insane. These and they talk about being unifying. What they should have led with is this is unacceptable. Regardless how you feel about the man, this is evil. This is wrong. No one deserves to be freaking assassinated. No former president, I should say. There's some people on the battlefield that should be assassinated, quite frankly. Now, let's play this video. This is a video of the attempted assassination, of the attempted murderer himself. I don't like saying shooter because I know what the left is trying to do. I think they're really trying to sully the Second Amendment by using the term shooter, and we've got accustomed to saying it even on the right. Let's go ahead and roll this video. This is the second Trump assassin, Ryan Wesley Roth. And I know names, copycat stuff, but guys, I just got to be straight with you. Listen, the left is, I don't think this will be the last. I don't think this will be the last. The rhetoric that the left is using, they'll have to continue to use because they don't want to talk about Harris's policies or Biden's policies. So the only strategy that they have is to continue to demonize Trump. That's why this won't be the last attempt. We just got to be real. We just got to be honest. This man needs as much security around him as possible because someone else is going to try, especially since it's almost obvious, right? At this point, someone had to leak this information. How the heck did they know where Trump was going when it wasn't on his calendar? How? All right, here's the would-be assassin. Let's go ahead and roll that, Gabe. Look at his hair, too, in this video. We got
Tell me who you are and why are you here?
I'm 56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now, so flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white.
Talking about Russia and Ukraine.
Good versus evil. This is a storybook, you know, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, you know, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, you know, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, you know, we all move forward as one collective whole unit.
Wow.
So, you know, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit, and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
All right, this is the problem with hippies like this guy. They don't live in the real world. They're absolutely delusional. Evil exists. Whether you like it or not, evil exists. We're not in heaven, so we're going to see evil stuff or crazy stuff. We're gonna run into evil people. That includes Vladimir Putin. We're not a collective group. We're not globalists. There's the United States of America. There's Ukraine. There's Russia. Now, I don't agree. Putin should not have invaded Ukraine. I think that he should suffer the consequences of the invading Ukraine by the Ukrainians. by the Ukrainians. I don't think this should be a World War III, the start of a World War III type scenario. But the bottom line is hippies don't understand the real world, and they don't understand that they live in the West. They should be thankful that they live in the West. All right. The rest of the world doesn't act like America. And quite frankly, many of our Western allies no longer act like the West as well in the EU. I mean, but this is completely crazy. This is just completely crazy. Now, it's okay. I'm okay with him saying, listen, you know what? If you want to go fight that war, so be it. Free speech. He's an American, even though he's in a different country at this point. Apparently, he's in Kiev when he made this statement, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so be it. But these are people that don't live in the real world. They only see black and white. There's no nuance. This is why I think Kamala Harris and her rhetoric is so dangerous. I don't think a lot of people that listen to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, sadly, can decipher, okay, Kamala Harris says certain things, but she hasn't given me policy. There's no nuance. It's black and white. Trump is evil. Trump is bad. This guy suffers from the same type of delusion. So let me just give you the history real quick. The New York Post did a brilliant rundown on this man. So let me just give you some of the background. So it says here, here's the summary. The alleged gunman who authorities targeted Trump while he golfed in Florida yesterday previously declared on social media that, quote, democracy is on the ballot. Close quote, this year, and we cannot lose, quote unquote, echoing the anti-Trump rhetoric that's been used by both Harris and Biden. All right. So this guy, 58 years old, law enforcement sources has identified him as the suspect, Ryan Wesley Roth. And by the way, Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch has video on his Instagram. This guy sent just crazy, outlandish stuff. Ironically, he bashed Trump in April of this year, and he declared at that time, quote, democracy is on the ballot. And again, we cannot lose. He advised Biden in April when he was still running for a re-election to run a campaign around keeping America democratic and free. Where would he get that idea? Except from the Biden-Harris administration, from their campaigns. He claimed that Trump wanted to, quote, make Americans slaves against master, close, quote unquote, make Americans slaves against master. Okay, so anyway, I'm not even sure. He also said, quote, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. He reiterated that. And then he also said, we cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way, quote unquote. And again, this is the similar language that you have Kamala Harris using as recently as August of this year, August 29th. She said at her rally in Savannah, Georgia, that we are fighting for our democracy. Actually, what we're fighting for are better solutions, better ideas to make America more free and more prosperous, if you will. We believe that your ideas will destroy what the founders intended, individualism, capitalism. We believe that your policies will destroy those ideas, that they'll break the American spirit as we know it. That they'll put the government over God, that they'll put big government over the Constitution of the United States of America. But we also believe that we have a Constitution that allows us to go and vote your policies down. That's what you guys seem to not want to allow. Or not want to talk about. You don't want to talk about your policies. You just want to talk about people hating Trump. Apparently, this guy voted for Trump in 2016, which is the odd thing, but he didn't get what he wanted from Trump. Trump wasn't the type of man that he thought he would be after he got elected. No mention as to, maybe Trump got a little frustrated considering the fact that there were these the fake Russia, edit that, the fake Russia collusion hoax. I did not mean to say that at all. The fake Russia collusion hoax, the Ukraine, the Ukraine hoax. I mean, just absolutely insane. All right. So again, this guy initially voted for Trump. And then after at least 2019, from what we've read, from what we've been able to gather, he has been deep blue. He's donated to Act Blue. He's been a Biden-Harris supporter. He's been a Democrat supporter. Obviously, he's a supporter of Ukraine in the Russia in that war. Trump, the assassination attempt occurred at Trump's International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. Trump sent out a statement to reporters yesterday after that, saying that he is safe and well. Again, we know the suspect is identified as Ryan Ralph, 58 of Ohio. He was able to get about 300 to 500 yards away from the former president, and he was able to set up what they call an assassin's nest. This guy had towel plates that are used in like bulletproof vests and stuff. He had those set up like he was ready for a gunfight. So he was able to get 300 to 500 yards away from Trump at a chain link fence that was on the edge of the course, where he had actually was an SKS. I saw the picture. An SKS is basically an AK-47 style rifle, but it looks more like a rifle. It shoots the same type of round, 7.62 by 3.9, but it's an SKS, but it is an AK-47 style rifle. Is basically what it is. This guy had a GoPro camera set up to apparently film the shooting. He wanted to get that on tape. He wanted to be famous. Again, he made 19 donations to Democrat candidates since 2019. So this guy, by no stretch of the imagination, is a conservative. I'm not even sure he's a Republican. I suspect that with Trump in 2016, this guy wanted what he considered a change agent. He didn't feel like he was getting that from Trump. A Secret Service agent spotted and opened fire on Roth as he put his gun through the fence. What are the odds that you're seeing that you got to give that Secret Service agent props, just being able to scope that out. So apparently the guy puts his rifle through the fence, and again the Secret Service agent spots that and engages the guy. That's pretty cool. According to Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, Trump's security detail was lighter because he isn't a sitting president. This is what I mentioned earlier in the opening. I think it's time to bump up Trump's security detail. You would have thought that they would have done that after the first assassination attempt. Speaking of the Department of Homeland Security, I believe under Alejandro Mayorkas. So we need to find out what the heck is going on. Alejandro Mayorkas has some questions to answer. We need to find out who was involved in Trump's detail, who was around, who could have given this guy information. This just does not make sense. This does not make sense for this to happen again, and for this to be so wide open. And honestly, with the rhetoric that the left is ramping up, the threat to democracy nonsense and all this kind of stuff, it's no wonder. Listen, you get crazy people like this guy on the left, and what are they going to do? You know they're going to try to take this guy out. You know they're going to try to take Trump out. And quite frankly, I think that's what they're doing. I don't think they mind one iota if Trump is taken out. And people within the, I hate to say this, but I have such distrust for our law enforcement institutions and the federal bureaucracy at this point. I have so much distrust for Alejandro Mayorkas. I have so much distrust for Merrick Garland. You just have to wonder if these guys are willing to sacrifice a former president in order to retain their power, in order for them, perhaps there's stuff on them that they should go to jail for. You have to wonder. It seems to me this is an easy solution to a problem, right? That is, someone has tried to kill Trump twice. Okay, now that someone has tried to kill him twice, I'm going to make sure that this guy has the utmost protection. Every facility, every place that he goes, we're going to comb through, we're going to sweep through, we're going to treat this guy as if he's in president, because now there's been two assassination attempts on his life. I mean, this is pretty simple. Here's more. Following the Trump assassination attempt in July, where Trump's ear was shot, he tweeted at Biden, this wannabe assassin did, that he should visit the victims of the Pennsylvania rally where crooks had opened fire on him, and attend the funeral of the 50-year-old volunteer firefighters who was killed. All right, so he wanted Biden to go out there, but Biden never did, obviously, because Biden is a despicable human being. And actually, the compradores didn't want Biden to attend, if I recall correctly. But it's not. Let's be real. He wouldn't have done it anyway. He would have treated that situation just like he did our 13 servicemen and women that died in Afghanistan under his watch. Here's another quote from this attempted assassin. You should visit the victims in the hospital, the Trump rally victims, and attend the funeral of the firemen that died. Trump certainly never would. Show the world what real leaders do. Now, of course, Trump did. He didn't go to the funeral because it was suggested by Secret Service that he not attend because of the woodsy area surrounding that funeral. But now I got to wonder. Maybe is it possible that someone in the Secret Service just didn't want Trump to upstage Joe Biden again? You have to wonder. He also tweeted at Trump in June of 2020, while he supported the Republican in 2016, he left because he was disappointed. He said, I and the world hope that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate, but we all were greatly disappointed. He obviously meant disappointed, and it seems you're getting worse and evolving. Are you retarded? He asked. I will be glad when you gone. Not when you're gone, but when you gone. I'm just reading from him. Again, this guy has been chipping in money for Act Blue. Act Blue is the same organization that helped fund the BLM and the Antifa riots in the summer of 2020. This is a guy who he attended North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Apparently, he was good with his hands. He was mechanically inclined, if you will. Again, he was spotted at the West Palm Beach Golf Club that was not announced. Trump did that on the fly, basically. So there was that. Thank God someone saw him in his getaway vehicle. Apparently, it was a black Nissan SUV. I saw pictures of it later. He also claimed on X that he tried to sell the idea of having former Afghanistan troopers fight for Ukraine and Russia, but was denied multiple times before giving up after 6 months. In a 2022 interview with Newsweek Romania, obviously that's what you were watching. Roth, wearing an American flag style shirt, spoke about recruiting others to fight in Kyiv. So that's what we watch. Also, in the primary season, he continued or implored both Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley to keep on keeping on because he wanted somebody to beat Trump. And he said this, and I quote, "You cannot quit. Why? You must stay on the ballot to the end. You must fight. You must continue giving speeches and push all the way to election day, no matter the election results. Do not give in. Join Nikki and keep working. Never give up." All right. So that was apparently directed at Vivek Ramaswamy. But this is a guy. This is what the left is building. They're building it, whether you realize it or not. The left is building an army because there's enough crazies out there that will take Kamala Harris and Joe Biden at their word, and they will go out and try to kill conservatives. Frankly, that's what we've seen in some of these mass shootings. Not necessarily the latest in Georgia. Oh, and by the way, we're going to try to get John Lott on that. I don't believe the parents should be in jail at all. I also believe the Crumleys should be out of jail. So I know that's going to be controversial for some of you to hear, but I think this is an attempt to undermine the Second Amendment, and I think the left is winning that war, and conservatives need to stand up to stand up to that. All right. So anyway, listen, guys, I just wanted to make sure that I got this basic information out to you. Make sure that we do this podcast today. I will be in for Larry Elder, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, I do want to remind you, for those of you that are still concerned about going broke under the Biden-Harris administration, and especially if Kamala gets in, I want to remind you quickly about Priority Gold. Economists warn that massive tax hikes could devastate your IRA and your 401k account as the stock market braces for impact. With inflation on the rise and global uncertainty looming, it's clear why central banks and savvy Americans are turning to gold. In times like this, Proverbs 21:20 reminds us to preserve what we've built. Right now, that wisdom points us towards gold. If you haven't had your eye on gold, it's time to make it a priority. My name is Carl Jackson, and I am urging you to call my friends at Priority Gold to find out how they can help you to diversify your savings with physical gold and silver. You can call 1-800-405-GOLD or visit PriorityGold.com/golden for a free gold info guide. Plus, see if you qualify for free shipping and storage. Act now to get your portfolio working for you while the market is golden. Again, call 1-800-405-GOLD to speak with a gold specialist or visit PriorityGold.com/golden to learn more. That's 1-800-405-GOLD. Guys, again, please follow me on all things social media at The Carl Jackson Show, X, Instagram, Facebook, True Social, Getter, wherever I am on social media, The Carl Jackson Show. Subscribe to the podcast, The Carl Jackson Show, wherever you go to get your podcast. Again, I will be in for Larry Elder tonight. Also, I will be in for him on Thursday and sitting in for Dennis Prager on Friday. So make sure you guys check me out on the Salem Radio Network. And until next time, do not grow weary doing good. God bless you.